I've always enjoyed multiplayer horror games. There's something oddly satisfying about not only suffering by yourself, but having your friends suffer alongside you in the same game that just enhances the overall experience, in my opinion, when it's done right. I've heard people say before that developers shouldn't add multiplayer to horror games because doing so automatically makes the game somehow not scary. All I can say to that is, if the only way your game can be perceived as scary is by disabling multiplayer, then your game probably wasn't all that scary to begin with, making you arguably a pretty lousy horror game developer. There is some truth in that isolation has traditionally been a key aspect in certain horror films and games, and that's because it takes no effort to do so. It's a fairly overused trope in gaming, especially for indie games. One only needs to take a look at sites like GameJolt to see that this is true. Needless to say, in the case of Devour, it may be a multiplayer-centric game, but I don't think anyone who's played it would deny that it definitely does a good job of keeping everyone on edge. Devour in some ways is very reminiscent of Slender: The 8 Pages and its sequel, Slender: The Arrival, but built from the ground up with co-op multiplayer prominently in mind. You play as a bunch of demon worshippers who are trying to defeat a pretty nasty demon who's being a bit of a dick to your cult leader by possessing her as his human slave. And because that kind of thing is somewhat problematic outside the context of a consensual bedroom kink, you're going to have to exorcise the demon by committing quite a bit of animal abuse. Now you might wonder why I prefaced all that by making a comparison to Slender. Odds are that if you're watching this video, you're probably old enough to remember the online phenomenon that was Slender: The 8 Pages. Arguably, it was probably one of the first viral games to spread like wildfire here on YouTube among content creators, and it helped directly contribute to the rise of many of the most prominent YouTubers seen on the platform today, PewDiePie and Markiplier being among them. And one of the reasons why the game worked was due to its inherent simplicity. I've said before of horror games in other videos, simplicity is a crucial component of horror entertainment. In Slender, it was locating and grabbing 8 collectible pages. Here it's rounding up and offering up 10 goats on a sacrificial altar. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, things get a bit more complicated because, of course they do. Among other things, you have a 6-foot-tall demon-possessed psychopath who suffers from severe paranoia, as well as sporadic and uncontrollable outbursts of homicidal violence. In hindsight, unironically very much like my first girlfriend. At first, when you run into this creepy red-eyed lady, she's fairly passive, which is good for you. But things go to hell in a handbasket when you start offering up those goats on the altar. The more you sacrifice, the faster her movement speed becomes, and the more aggressively she'll hunt the players. By the time you've offered 9 goats, say, to the altar, and you're looking for the 10th, she bears an eerie resemblance to Sonic EXE. I played with 2 of my friends and we would always get to the 9th goat, but we never got to the 10th. While I'm pretty sure it's possible to succeed with only 3 players as opposed to 4, I would argue that the only way you can really make it across the finish line is to play with 4, because inevitably, there's always going to be that one player who, during those last few minutes, is unable to do anything except for reviving their teammates out of fear that the entire team otherwise would be entirely eliminated by the AI. In order to revive friendly players, you need to use these health packs or medical packs, however you choose to describe them, that are located at random points across the map. Luckily for the player, the map is fairly generous when it comes to the locations of these packs, and any player who finds themselves downed is able to see the locations of all nearby health packs through walls and doors. And it does seem like these packs respawn over time, as we have never encountered a match where there wasn't at least 1 or 2 of these things lying around at any given time when we needed them most. For those of you curious what an average playthrough for the first time looks like, I've cut down our initial half-hour-long match into a 2-minute highlight reel. I thought it might be a fun way to round off the video, then we'll come back with my final thoughts.
Ew, mouse acceleration, get that shit off you.
10.0 mouse acceleration is the way of the future, Isaiah.
Hell no.
I like how there's an option to mute jump scares.
The faint of heart.
Exactly. For the Bills of the world. You know what? Of all the characters in this game, I think I most closely relate to Sam. Is it going to, throw itself into the flame? What?
I guess.
It's ready to die. Oh,
Hey,
it's
there.
good. Oh, I put the hay down. Okay, that's why it's all passive now. Throw its ass in the fire. I feel a little bit bad, but not really.
1 out of 10.
Only 9 more to go. Bye, Isaiah.
I was a distraction. Go, go.
Oh, was that you, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, well, bye, Bill. Oh, She's not after you, she's after me. Oh, actually, I don't know what she's after.
Like she's chasing us with Bill in her hands.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'd do the same thing if I was her. Got him.
You should grab it by its neck. What the shit?
Hey, you know, considering all the animal abuse violations we're already doing, this is probably the least of them. I got one. She's running outside after someone. Like, she just ran past me. Like, you know what, screw you, I'm going outside.
Well, I don't know who she's going after.
Probably Bill, to be honest.
Oh.
No, she's coming after me! Fuck it, bye. Well, so much for the goat I was carrying.
A few moments later.
Oh, she's pissed.
I'm stuck in the door. I'm stuck in the door. Fuck.
To get you?
No.
Oh, she's
Keep
coming
getting
downstairs.
Stuck in the walls.
She's going back to the attic.
I see
She's
you.
going all over the place.
Well, I see Isaiah. Watch out, zombie there. Zap him.
Oh, here she comes, flying down the stairs.
Damn it!
God damn it! Come on! I was right there! The fucking door closed! That's bullshit!
Oh, well.
Are you kidding me?
You win some, you lose some.
No, that's unacceptable.
Yes.
We were one away. We almost
like
had
this
that if we
game.
didn't all die at the last minute. Overall, me and my group had a pretty good time playing Devour, despite our mild frustration with how insanely fast the AI runs about once you've acquired and burned 9 goats. I didn't have much of a problem with it myself, but I do think there is a slight balancing issue there. Getting the first 7 or 8 goats is far too easy, and the difficulty spike between goats 8 and 9 is insane. If you're going to have an AI like this that gets tougher the closer you are to achieving your goal, the evolution of that difficulty has to be carefully measured. You shouldn't just hit the gas pedal at the very last minute with no prior build-up. While Devour is still an early access game, the developers have done an excellent job of consistently providing new content updates, bug fixes, and general game improvements. Based on their pattern of prior update releases, they do seem to update at least twice a month, and while July has been a bit slow of a month for them, odds are by the time you see this video, at least one new update probably will have gone live. Given the game's listed retail price of $4.99 USD, Devour offers an excellent value for its asking price, and even if they eventually raise the price to something more like $9.99 by the time it exits early access, it would still be well worth it for those of you that, like me, appreciate these kinds of niche multiplayer horror type games. On that note though, that's where I think I'm going to wrap up the video for today. As usual, if you enjoyed this video or found it informative, please be sure to give this video a like, share it around, and definitely let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm always up for some healthy and vigorous debate in my comment section. We don't all have to agree, but as long as we can keep things fairly civil, I'm more than happy. If you want to support the work I do on this channel, subscribing and clicking the bell to opt into getting all notifications would really help. YouTube doesn't make it easy for people to find my videos, and it only takes maybe 2 button clicks to subscribe and enable notifications. Either way, thanks for joining me. As always, this is WarriorDan signing out. Stay awesome, everybody. Stay safe and peace out.